I'm aiming to provide sound technical analysis. Realism, no hype. A proud member of the H Barbarian. There's growth in setback. It's only a failure if you put down what it is that you're working on to achieve. Generational wealth transfer opportunity.
If you haven't checked out that video, check out the Holy Crypto Trinity.
So what you gonna do, fiat dollar, on CryptoBullGod and his cryptomaniacs and the entire cryptocurrency market run wild on you?
Welcome in. I am the CryptoBullGod, and this is the recorded on Tuesday, airing on Tuesday, April 20th, 2021 CryptoBullGod Podcast. You can find me on Twitter, TradingView, and YouTube at CryptoBullGod. You can also email me any questions that you have, which I will either respond directly to or respond to in this podcast at CryptoBullGod@gmail.com. Dear Lord, everybody, pump the brakes. If you're feeling fearful right now, ask yourself why. I have consistently communicated the same messaging over and over again. So I don't know if it's some people who, I'm not sure if the people who have reached out to me in DMs and on Twitter about this being a potential top, I don't know if it's because you're newer to the market or if you've been following me and just used selective hearing. Look. I'm going to get correct calls and I'm going to get incorrect calls. Every trader is like that, okay? Nobody knows with 100% certainty the direction of the market. I have also consistently said to you, utilize me as a data point. I'm genuinely out here, okay? All humor aside, I'm genuinely out here as an educated individual who's attempting to help you. I want to see you succeed. I have no ulterior motive. Things I post about are things I'm interested in that I want to share with you so you can benefit from it as well. But use me as a data point. Do your own education and your own research. I do the same thing. I do my own education and my own research. And then I have other people in this space, okay? I'm on record a couple days ago tweeting one of the people on Twitter and on YouTube whose TA I respect, that I use as a data point. I do the same damn thing. You shouldn't just rely on yourself. You should be self-educated. You should have ownership for what you're invested in, and then you should use other validation points to see if your line of thinking is similar or dissimilar and why. That is the best piece of advice that I can give you when investing in this market. Now, I state all this to say I can't state things to you with 100% certainty, okay? I would be lying to you. The only thing certain in life is living and dying. There is no chart. I'm looking at multiple charts, most of which I have shared with the community on Twitter or on a TA video. There is nothing, absolutely fucking nothing, saying the market has topped. Nothing. We haven't gone euphoric yet. The volume has not come into Bitcoin on the charts. The charts that might suggest that we're going to top haven't showed a sign that we've topped. Altcoins, if you think altcoins have run so far, take a look at the dominance chart. Let me just flip over there real quick. I know that this is an audio-only version of the podcast, which at some point might change. But let's take a look at the dominance chart and let's see where we're at. Jesus. Guys, come on. This podcast is brought to you by your balls. Grab onto them if you have any. Buckle up, because it's going to be a ride for the next few months. The Bitcoin dominance is at 52%. We haven't even broken below 50%. Oh my God. Come on, guys. We've nowhere near topped. Look, I'm on record as saying that Bitcoin dominance in itself is one of the things I'll be looking at to tell us where we're at in the cycle. I've been on record saying that Bitcoin dominance will drop below the prior low of 35.4%. Might we double bottom? Might we create a higher low? It's entirely possible. But we are so far above at any level where we would be to be topping. Let's look at another chart here. Dear God. I tweeted something out the other day. Look, don't take this the wrong way. I understand everybody's education level is different, okay? My frustration, I actually want to be clear about this so this comes across appropriately so I don't sound like a douchebag, all right? My level of frustration, it's not that I'm frustrated with you, the listener, okay? If you have been emotional this week because of the drops, I'm not frustrated with you. I'm frustrated for you. I want you to draw that distinction. I'm frustrated for you. If I, as a community member, as someone who's attempting to add value to your life, your investing life, if I really value what you're invested in, it should frustrate me if you're not seeing the bigger picture. Does that make sense? So I'm not frustrated at you. We're all at different educational levels. I'm frustrated for you if you're emotional right now. Okay, that's really the best way to put it. I want to see you succeed. Let's look at the total altcoin market cap chart. I mean, we topped at about just call it 1.1 trillion, and we're just consolidating. I tweeted about a ascending triangle on the total altcoin chart that broke out, went a little bit above my target range, not unexpectedly. I mean, target range is a target range. We went a little bit above it, and now we're just consolidating. One of the other things I pointed out to you, if you're really struggling right now and you're like, well, if we're in a bull market, why is Bitcoin not going up? Why are the altcoins massively correcting? I have a couple thoughts for you, I've reiterated these points before, but I want to, nail everyone over the head with a hammer, all right? Number one, this is a very immature market, If you study how much money and wealth exists in the world, different pockets like real estate, as an example, you will understand when you look at the total market capitalization of cryptocurrencies that as revolutionary as the technology is, as passionate as I am about the technology, and I love the disruptive nature of it and where things are headed. I mean, the passions in my own life are shifting very slow. They've been shifting over time more from actuarial science into cryptocurrencies. It's just a fact, I'm very excited about the technological disruption and innovation that all of these projects provide, at least some of them. But what you have to understand is that we are at a very early point. We are still very early, everyone. We're very early. And so because the market is immature and the market capitalization in total, and then as you get more granular and you start looking at individual projects is so small, there's volatility. Your volatility, if you were looking at like a sliding scale, your volatility will increase, as your market capitalization decreases. Hopefully that makes sense. I always go back to the analogy of being in an ocean and the size of your boat. If you have a tiny little boat floating in an ocean, the waves, the currents, they're going to rock your boat more easily, right? If you're on a cruise ship, I miss doing that. I used to do cruises. I didn't think it would be anything I would really enjoy, but I was in a relationship at one point. And we used to do quite a few cruises together, and I just had such a great experience. I'm telling you, if you haven't been on a cruise before, Be open-minded. Give it a shot. I don't know. I love doing it. But anyway, if you're on a cruise ship and the waves are hitting you, sometimes you do feel it. Sometimes you're walking that cruise ship and you're like, Christ, I shouldn't have had that fourth glass of wine. I'm feeling the ship move. This is not good. But the point is the cruise ship is not going to move as much, right? So you have to understand that we're going to experience volatility. Now, if you actually go back and you look at one of the videos that I have on my YouTube channel, okay, I believe it is the Alt Season. It's simply entitled Alt Season TA video. There were two things that I pointed out in that video, and I purposely did this because I knew we would see moves like this in the market, okay? I looked at the total altcoin market cap, and I looked at Ethereum. And the thing that essentially I was pointing out in both charts, and I was actually going back in time and going through it in real time, retrospectively, so that you could appreciate the moves, was what you saw at the end stages of a bull market in the last several months, okay? What you saw is things began to get parabolic and then go euphoric. There were large moves up, and then, oh my God, you scrolled on the chart, and you saw, a 40% decrease. You're like, oh my God, this is it! I gotta sell everything! It's all over! Ethereum's at $50! I gotta get out! So after it corrects 40%, then what you see is Ethereum says, fuck you. I'm going from 50 to like 500, all right? So what you have to understand is, while nobody is Nostradamus, what I'm attempting to do and what other sound technicians are attempting to do is to provide you with cookie crumbs, okay? To provide you with data points, to infer decisions based on that. There is no one specific chart. There is no one specific indicator. But what I can do to benefit my own scale-out strategy to identify the top in a bull market, or we're getting close to a top, and what I can conversely do for you, I'm sharing the same information with you that I'm looking at myself, what I can do for you at the same time is I can share a handful of views, okay? We don't want to overcomplicate the process. Keep it stupid simple. But I share a handful of views with you, and I leave it up to you, the viewer, and it's up to myself, and I. It's up to you to discern, based on those handful of views, when is a good time to scale out. And that's another thing. Look, I have communicated this point consistently as well. I have said, do not pick a specific price point. Do not pick a specific ratio, a BTC ratio. Do not pick a specific percentage gain. Do not pick a specific fib extension. Look, the point is, what I'm trying to drive at is, don't sell 100% of your investment at a specific point. Me saying that out loud sounds like lunacy and being moronic. And I don't mean to be offensive, but I think there are some people out there that really think they can pick a price point and they're just going to sell everything. You will be sadly disappointed. I strongly suggest that what you do, based on the data points that you have in front of you, okay, put together a solid exit strategy. That exit strategy, very simplistically put, should be a scaled out exit strategy. I'm selling 20% here, another 20% here, 20% here, 20% here. You know what? This last 20%, or maybe the last 10%, I'm going to let that shit ride because it might go higher than I think. And maybe I'll just put in a stop loss limit at some sort of price level. If you don't know what a stop loss limit is and you're just doing market orders, then restated differently, you let the shit ride. At some point, a small portion ride, and at some point you sell it off. I mean, the only world I know are limit orders, so I don't do market orders. So, but the point is you want to have a logical, scaled out exit strategy. No one will ever call a perfect top nor a perfect bottom. If you want to maximize realistically, living in the real world, not fantasy world with unicorns and rainbows, if you want to live in the real world where you recognize that while you can't call a perfect top or bottom, you can logically come up with a range that is reasonable based on emerging data. As the data emerges, those ranges change. And so, what you do is you have conservative targets, moderate targets, and aggressive targets, and you scale out based on that. I'm not here to tell you specific price levels as to where to scale out. If you look at my H Barbarian video, and I give you a range, look, based on that range, look, the video I shared with you is how I'm playing it, based on price ranges. Unless if something materially changes in the data, as a data analyst, as an actuary, okay, my analysis will evolve with emerging data. There's no question. That video was put out at that point in time based on the data. If a month from now it looks different, I'm going to modify my own personal exit strategy. But the point is that data I presented to you, based upon the ranges that I've presented to you, I have conservative, moderate, and aggressive price targets. And I personally plan to profit, paper gains, realized gains, not paper gains. I plan to capitalize on those gains by having a logical exit strategy based on those ranges. Very simple. Don't let anyone fool you and tell you that you should just hold for the next 10 years. If that is your strategy, if you want to buy something and you want to hold it for the next 10 years, that's up to you. That's just not my personal prerogative, all right? I see the value in identifying large picture cycles. Let me give you an example with H-bar, okay? I am a motherfucking H-barbarian, all right? It doesn't mean that if I didn't sell some at $3 or $4, recognizing that a year out I could get back in at, say, 30 cents or whatever the price is, does that make me stupid? Does that make me foolish? Or does that make me an intelligent investor? You can fundamentally value the technology, realize the disruptive nature of it, and know, or at least feel convicted. You don't know, but you feel convicted that there is tremendous upside and value moving forward for Hedera Hashgraph. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to capitalize on very large swings up and very large swings down on price. People get so emotional and territorial over projects, and I'm not one of them. I mean, if you look at my Twitter profile, look at the picture. I'm looking behind me right now. I have XRP on the left. I love XRP. I have Bitcoin on the right. Bitcoin was my first love, okay? I'm not a maximalist, all right? I see the value in many, many different projects, and I plan to personally capitalize on these large market movements. So please, please, please calm down. Emotion is a money killer. All right, let's get into the chart of the week. So the chart of the week, this one might surprise you. I posted a chart about it very recently. I don't think it's getting enough attention. That is XLM, Stellar Lumens. Now, I posted a chart very recently on Twitter, if you're not following me, at CryptoBullGod. There is a rounding bottom, okay? To me, it looks like a cup and handle. We've seen the same sort of pattern in Ethereum, the total altcoin market cap, Mana, which, Christ, Mana was my first chart of the week. If you haven't seen the move Mana made since I spoke about it in episode, I think my podcast episode 2 was when I started doing chart of the weeks. Look at the price move up. Now, I began scaling into Mana, I believe I had said it. Honestly, I forget. I think it was like 19 cents. But the point is, these rounding bottoms can be very powerful in nature. One of the things that I hit on a video update on XRP is I complimented my brother because one of the things he did that I had not done is he diversified between XRP and XLM. And I gotta tip my hat to him. I think he was much smarter than I for doing that. I've done the same thing. I am diversified between both XRP and XLM, meaning I took some of my XRP funds and put them in XLM. Now, one of the other things I shared in a recent video is I created a custom chart. The custom chart was XRP over XLM. So it's an XRP to XLM ratio. And if you study that, what you realize is that over time, on a USD value, XLM has been catching up to XRP. The XRP divided by XLM USD value has been decreasing over time. Okay, and we actually saw something for the first time at the beginning of the year we had never seen, which was the XLM USD value had surpassed XRP. Okay, I am on record for saying that the USD tops in both XRP and XLM will be similar. Ladies and gentlemen, that does not say the same. So if XRP hits $9, I'm not saying XLM will hit $9. 9 and 7 are pretty damn close, right? So what I've said is I think they're going to have similar tops. Now, in looking, I haven't updated my XRP XLM chart, but in a couple weeks. So I think I need to update it. But anyway, between this rounding bottom that looks like a cup and handle with a target that I posted on Twitter of $1.40, approximately. I mean, it's approximately the target. And the fact that now the XLM USD value is so far from XRP where it's historically, it's gotten a lot closer to like that 1-to-2 ratio. I think that XLM is due for a very large move here. And I think people are underestimating it. I'm very bullish on it. Again, this is a TA. This is a TA commentary. Again, just want to put this out there for people who can't discern fundamentals from technicals. There are two things I like about XLM. Number one, it has historical data from a prior cycle that I can base my analysis off of. Okay? And it has been a very strong performer. I don't really care what you fundamentally think about the project. And number two, the technicals are looking beautiful. The current rounding bottom that I posted about on Twitter is looking beautiful. So I would at least check it out. Check out XLM. I think it's overdue for a much more massive move up to catch up USD value, not market cap value, to XRP. So definitely check out XLM. Now, as far as getting to questions from email, I would like to thank everyone who's written into me. I received a handful of emails between the last podcast and this podcast. What I will say is that the emails were a little more challenging in nature to respond to in a podcast just because they were very lengthy. So bear with me. Have patience. I want you to know, number one, I do appreciate you reaching out to me. I have seen the emails you've sent me. Number two, I'm going to have to find the time to reply to you. Because the emails are way too lengthy. If you send me, let me just make this point very clear. Every single follower out there who gives me the time of day, I hope it comes across to you. I'm very passionate about this space. I pour a lot of energy into things. I take a lot of time creating all this content outside of a normal life. I have a full-time job, personal life I'm trying to have. So I pour a lot of energy into this market. So if any of you are giving me the time of the day, thank you. I sincerely appreciate it. If you respond to me with a lengthy email, what you have to understand is it's going to take me some time to reply to you, but I will reply to you. Also, if you send me a lengthy email, I'm not going to address it in a podcast. It's more fun if you can send me, first off, if you can send me an email that's shorter, just be concise, The email shouldn't be longer than the story, okay, or however the saying goes. I mean, just make it brief and concise. I've had to learn that in the workplace. When I'm sending emails, let's make the thing concise and hit the key points, all right? So my preference, okay, and it would be advantageous for you as well from a response time perspective, hit me up with something short, okay? If you hit me up with something short and sweet, I can respond much more quickly. Okay, there's a much more higher likelihood I'm going to respond quickly if I just respond in an email. Or two, there's a higher likelihood I'm going to address it in a podcast. But if you send me an email with 5 paragraphs, don't expect me to get back to you right away because it's not that I don't value your engagement. No, that's not at all whatsoever. It's just you have to kind of parse your time between everything. You only have time for so much. I don't have time to read through 5 paragraphs and respond within a week. So it's going to take me probably a few weeks. But so I don't have anything to address in the email of the week. So if you have anything brief and concise, please send it to me and I can address it in a podcast. One other thing I will quick hit on before I get to a little funny story actually that happened this morning. It's impossible. I've noticed this in some of the emails I got, but also on Twitter. I appreciate when people reach out to me and they make me aware of certain projects. I find value in when my audience engages me and says, hey, you should look into this project. But don't be an ass with me and say I should have known about a certain project. Don't be that ass. It is impossible to know about every single project. I'm sure, I am absolutely sure that there are more than a handful, many projects that I am unaware of and I'm not familiar with that are great projects. The best thing, the most helpful thing you can do is what I do. Just share information and don't be an asshole. Don't expect me to be familiar with every single project. It's just impossible, right? You can only spend your time. It's like the peanut butter and jelly manifesto that Brad Garlinghouse would say from Ripple. You can only spend so much time on so many different projects to best familiarize yourself with them and get comfortable with them, right? If you know 100 projects, I'm going to challenge your thought process on how really well you know those projects, if you really say you know 100 projects, because it takes a lot of time to get into the fundamentals. Not the technicals, you can get on a chart, spend a little bit of time and get comfortable with it. But as far as the fundamentals are concerned, that takes a lot more time, at least, to get comfortable with, in my opinion. Charting, I've done so much charting that it's very robotic for me. I can go into a chart. In fact, hey, let me hit on this real quick before I get to my funny story. Real quick, good transition point. My YouTube membership is only at about 700 subscribers, okay? Once I hit 1,000, I am going to schedule an annual event. It will be called Chart Mania. It will be a live YouTube event. I'll have a handful of charts, some charts that I can go on and kind of talk about. But the cool thing is, for anybody who chooses to engage in that live event, it's a free event. This isn't anything I'm asking. I mean, someday I might ask for donations. I don't know. A lot of people do that. I might ask for donations. I don't know. I might ask for some XRP or HBAR donations. I might do that. But for now, it's totally free, no donations or anything. I'm not going to have anything like that on there. But the point is, it's going to be a live charting event where you, the audience, can engage me and ask me to chart something. And I could chart something on the spot that I've never charted in my life. So you can test me too, see if I'm really a good chartist. Last thing I'll say, I keep thinking of things. Last thing I'll say is someone emailed me. I can't say who it is because I don't want to take a shit on anyone. But you know who you are. You reached out to me and you said, I valued this TA person, this YouTuber's content until I met you. Basically saying this was the person I went to that I really relied on for TA, but then I found you, and so his opinion changed. Thank you. Because let me tell you, you know who you are. That person is a hype artist. I was subscribed to him a while ago, a long time ago, and I unsubscribed a long time ago because the guy's a hype artist, okay? So I am happy to hear. Let's give a round of applause. I know you don't know who I'm talking about, but woo! Cheers for you. So thank you for realizing that asshole's a hype artist. I can't stand him. So thank you. I really am here trying to help you out, so I'm glad you can see through the whatever comic relief I provide. I'm glad you can see through it, and that I am a genuine and authentic individual who's looking to help you out. Now, on a funny note, actually something happened this morning that I just wanted to talk to anyone about that has experienced this. I'm sure 99.9% of you have experienced this, and that is crop dusting. There is nothing that can derail your workout quicker I had a back and a tricep workout this morning. And I was pretty focused. I was feeling pretty good. And some ass clown walked by me and just completely crop dusted my area. And completely threw me off my game. To anybody out there, like, have a little consideration. Like, if you feel the urge coming on, like, the bathroom is not far away. Like, why do you have to share all of you with everyone else? No one wants to experience that side with you. Nobody really wants to know that part to you. Look, we all have that issue. Every now and then, you eat something, doesn't go over well. Look, that's just life. Nobody likes to talk about these things. And most people don't like to talk about them. I don't give a shit. So the reality is it happens. I'm not acknowledging that it doesn't happen. But would you at least have the common courtesy to just excuse yourself and go to the bathroom? I was very focused on my workout this morning. And I'm talking you, asshole, who crop dusted me this morning. And you completely threw me off my game on my lat pull downs. So, anyway, on that note, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to say thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate the engagement. In particular, I've had on Twitter. I've noticed an uptick, especially among the H-Barbarian community. So thank you for that. I really do appreciate. But as always, I want to close this podcast out as we will do until the market cycle top, which we're not at. Please don't freak out. Please don't freak out. We're going to go a lot higher. If you sell now, you're going to punch yourself in the nuts. Please join me in a moment of silence for all of those I attempted on multiple occasions to get into crypto and have remained ignorant. Thank you.